a lot of people felt we're trying to discourage people from coming to have a better life.
Oh, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is MOJO, and in the studio today I have with me a special guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Debbie Aria.
Yeah, and you are the founder and CEO of?
I'm the founder and CEO of the charity Afruca Safeguarding Children.
Okay.
We're a child protection charity. We work in black communities around child protection issues, child trafficking, child abuse.
How about the people back in Nigeria? Because obviously it's better if you can inform. We're from Nigeria. It's better if you can inform people, educate them.
And that is the most difficult element because of what the situation in Nigeria. Now, I remember 2 years ago, we worked with a charity in Nigeria called Sea Hope. We organized a program called, we called it the Japa Syndrome. And we were trying to educate them about what will happen, what happened. And a lot of people felt we were trying to discourage people from coming to have a better life.
Oh, is that what they thought you were doing? Oh.
That's how we're trying to discourage people.
And it's always the case when you tell people that, listen, it's not a bed of roses here.
Exactly. People, until people come to experience things themselves, a lot of the time they might feel, they do not also come. But there's so many dangers for many people, so many risks involved, and it's to understand what the risks are. And that's what we try to educate people.
You've been running for 23 years. You work from London. Where else do you work from?
Manchester.
Okay, so you work from London and Manchester.
Yeah.
So how many staff do you have?
About 20.
Oh, about 20.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So they each have different responsibilities.
We have social workers in Africa. They qualify social workers. We have 6 social workers in Africa. We have some here and in Manchester.
Okay.
And so with the social work is a different part of our work where we work with local authorities, child protection agencies. So we see that a lot of African families and children are removed.
I know, that's something that we've seen on social media.
Yeah. The children are removed from many issues ranging from physical abuse, emotional abuse, child neglect, especially physical abuse is the main purpose of removal. And when children are removed, they're put into foster care. So we know from our work that a lot of black children are going to foster care. Once they go in for a long period, that's it.
Their life is, I know, we were having this conversation with a friend yesterday.
Yeah, their life chances are reduced. So our aim is to support as many families as possible to be reunified with their children. And so for that reason, we developed a parenting program. And so when children are removed, to be honest with you, even the local authorities contact us out there. We don't do any publicity around it. They want the families to be reunified with their children. Firstly, because it is extremely expensive.
I was going to say, it saves them money. So it's
to remove one child for a week and put him into foster care costs about £3,000.
Wow.
And many African families, they don't have one children, they have like 3, 4, maybe 5
3,
children.
4.
So if one child has been abused in the family, in most cases, all the children will be removed for their safety, which means that 5 children are going into foster care, which means that exactly for one family. So it doesn't make any sense. So what we're saying is that we understand that many of the children that are abused because of cultural issues. We know that because that's how we grew up as well, right? So we say to local authorities, we say to them, look, let's work with this family over 3 months. Our parenting program is a 3-month program. 12 sessions or maybe 40. It's a case by case, but usually between 12 and 16 hours of one-to-one courses. We talk them through a range of issues around, alternatives to between children, parenting styles, how to identify your child's development stage, how to put in place boundaries, lots of different things. We talk. And when we do this work with them, we assess them. Have they learned? Well, it looks like they've learned. And, social services do the assessment. If the case is already in court, the judge might say, okay, tell us about what you've learned. If they're able to verbalize what they've learned, the judge might say, okay, fine, on the basis of this, we'll let your children return home. And then the local authorities can watch you for the next few months to see how you're getting on. And we've helped many families in that way. Many families. I'm trying to think of how many families.
The success rates,
a lot of families. Most of the families that come to Afruca, there's a change. Either the children have returned home, or there's been a step down from, this is a child protection case, so this is a child in need case. So we just provide them with services. For it could be that the parents are seeing their children once every 2 months.
Okay.
Now they're seeing the children every week.
Okay.
They go for contact.
Okay.
So they find a place for them. It could be an office like Afruca, like here.
Okay.
The parents come, the children come.
Okay.
And they watch them for about an hour or 2 hours to see how they're getting on, right? So increase contact.
Okay.
Different outcomes.
Yeah, because I was going to say that if they're meeting, that means that the children are not living at home.
Not yet,
Okay.
but it's a
process, a gradual process.
Exactly, gradual process. Let's watch how they behave.
Okay.
Are they shouting at the children when they're in contact? Are they hugging them? Are the children close to their parents?
Okay.
You know, they watch them to see what's going on. They assess them. If there's improvement, they can say, okay, fine. The children can come home every Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so it's a gradual process.
It's a difficult one for you because I'm just thinking about the children, you know, not being able to be with your parents when it's not voluntary.
I know. We've seen many children who just newly came because their parents came to study and they brought their children, and 2 weeks later they're in foster care. Right? A month later they're in foster care. They have not even had the time to get used to living in the country at all. You know, they maybe could be they just started going to school within a few weeks, a few months. You know, they're in foster care. The school is the main avenue for children
to get. So they do a lot of the. We call it safeguarding or whistleblowing.
Well, it's safeguarding. So you know, because you see children disclosing either deliberately saying my parents beat me or just the way they appear. What's wrong with you? Yeah. Oh, you know, my dad beat me with a belt. Okay, has it happened before? Yes, they beat me a lot in Nigeria. And that's it. So you know, they even beat my sister too. You know, so it's a very rampant issue, and we're continuing to work at Afruca because for me, the idea of a child going into foster care, knowing full well what will happen to that child if they stay in foster care, is a driving factor. We'll work with the parents to make sure the children return home. Okay. And most parents are already ready for the children to return because the idea of you going to pick your children from school and then you admit, oh no, you can't pick them. They've gone into foster care. It's extremely traumatizing.
Especially for the moms.
Exactly.
So I was going to say, because a lot of people watching us here are from Nigeria, are from the UK. So for those parents who have probably just come in and don't understand, you know, the lie of the land, how things are done here in the UK, what can you tell them to prevent this thing happening to them, prevent their children being taken?
They need to learn about UK child protection laws.
Yes.
You cannot live in this country and not understand how you're liable to break the law.
Yes.
So you need to understand, for example, that you don't leave children home alone.
Yes.
You need to understand that you cannot leave the 12-year-old sibling alone with the little ones.
So what's the minimum age?
There's no minimum age.
Okay.
There is no minimum age.
Or maximum. Minimum is what I was
There's no minimum, there's no maximum. Oh, sorry, there's no maximum age.
No, minimum is the youngest.
There's no maximum. There's no age. So you can say, oh, you know, my 12-year-old, you know, when we're in Nigeria, she can look after all the children on the street. Oh, that's in Nigeria.
I looked after at 8, I looked after my siblings.
Not here.
But back then it was different anyway.
Exactly. So if that were to happen here and something goes wrong, you know, that is child neglect.
Yeah, I know.
All the children will be removed from the care of the family.
So what, is a child 16 or 18?
There's no minimum age.
But
18 is an adult.
Yes.
What the law says is that there's no minimum age that you can leave a child home alone. Okay. However, it is an offense if doing so leaves them at risk of significant harm. So, for example, you go out, you leave the 14-year-old alone with the 2-year, and then there's a fire. Okay. Something happens. Okay. There's a terrible case that happened about a year or 2 years ago. Yeah, the twins. You know about it. Anytime I read about that, I feel extremely sad.
Because there were two
sets of twins. 2 sets of twins left alone. Boys, there was a fire and the 4 boys died. It was really terrible, you know, terrible. There was another case, this little child was left alone. He was sleeping. The mother was studying, so she was in uni. The father was looking after the children. So he would take the big boy, who was about 4 or 5 years old, to school. And then in the afternoon, he would go and pick him. So this afternoon, the toddler was sleeping, so he's like, okay, I'm just gonna run to the school. Boy wakes up, and couldn't find anybody, and then the door was locked. So, but the window was open, first floor flat. The boy climbed out of the window, and the neighbors saw this boy fall to the ground.
I hope he survived.
He survived. Oh, thank God. They called ambulance to pick him up. He was okay, but that is child neglect.
Yes.
There's no excuse we can give for such a behavior. So, you know, parents need to understand that there's some things you don't do here. And no matter how clever you think your child is, there's still a child in the UK. Yeah.
So is there anywhere, online, where people can go for more information? Do you have a YouTube channel or a podcast that
we
people
have
can listen
We have a YouTube. It's called Afruca Safeguarding Children. Is our name.
Okay.
We have a website, Afruca Safeguarding Children. We have a Twitter, is Afruca. Facebook. Everything is Afruca. So if you search Afruca,
so educate yourself, so you don't fall on this side of the law, because it's emotionally, physically, it must be expensive as well. Training.
Absolutely.
For the child and for the parents.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So please make sure you don't become
a statistic,
a guest or a visitor
of
Afruca.
Right.
So that's been very, very informative and interesting. Lots of stories there. So thank you very much once again for your time.
Thank you.
And guys, thank you for watching. And come on, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.